Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today, you are here live with Healings and Readings with Deepal. I am Deepal Shah, and I want to take you through a little bit about childhood programs and how we can heal our childhood programs. We're going to talk about that and much more. I am just going to make sure that I'm live. You can see me and hear me. And if you want to share this out with all the people that you know, that would be awesome. As I am going to do the same. So give me just a moment to do that. All right. So welcome back. I am very excited to talk to you about childhood programs and how they affect us, And I'm so grateful that you're here because this is such a powerful topic that can really transform your life. And I want to share a little bit about my own story with childhood programming. For years, I found myself stuck in the same patterns. No matter how hard I tried, I kept feeling like I wasn't good enough. I was afraid of failure, and I really struggled with self-worth. And it showed up in my relationships, in my success, and even in my confidence to fully express myself. And I didn't realize it at that time, but I was operating from this deeply embedded childhood programs, beliefs that I absorbed when I was young. For example, I grew up in an environment where I had to prove myself all the time. I had to work hard. I was told to be quiet. I felt that, that you have to be a certain level to make any kind of money. I was told that I wasn't going to do well when I grew up. I was told that, the interesting thing is that, the emotions that I felt were not validated. And maybe you went through some of the same things. Without even knowing it, those early childhood experiences really shaped how I saw myself in the world. And I didn't even realize it till I got older. But once I started healing, everything changed. Once I stepped into that space of learning the root causes of my illnesses, everything changed. I learned that we are not stuck in the past. We can rewrite the stories that we tell ourselves. We can rewrite our beliefs. And that's exactly what I want to help you with today. Because these things that we have experienced, these childhood programs, are filled with beliefs and fears and behaviors that we absorb between birth and around 7, and I would say now between 12 and 14 years old. And, between the age of 0 and 7, we're like a sponge. We just take in everything from our environment, whether it's from our parents, our caregivers, our teachers, our society, anybody who we come in contact with. These experiences form the foundation of our subconscious mind, which then influences 95% of our daily thoughts, emotions, and actions. And I'll tell you, if you're operating from childhood wounds, there's going to be times where you feel not good enough or unworthy. You struggle with people pleasing. You constantly repeat being in toxic relationships. You have money blocks. And even, what I noticed is setting boundaries can be difficult for you, or even expressing your emotions. Or if somebody loves you, you have a hard time letting them in. Do any of these resonate with you? Let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. We are so programmed that these programs affect us in so many ways. And if you grew up with criticism, you might battle with perfection or self-doubt. Maybe you grew up with neglect. And if so, then you may feel unseen or unworthy of love. And if you didn't feel safe in your home, then you may be struggling with anxiety or control issues. Here's the truth: we're not stuck. Healing is about awareness and reprogramming. Now, imagine you're holding a phone from 1995. It worked back then, but today it's outdated. Our childhood programs are just like that outdated software, and it's time to upgrade. And so I want to take you through a healing process that will help you really let go and connect with that inner child. So if you're ready to do that, go ahead and take some nice deep breaths in and out. And allow yourself to relax and close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, let's put a beautiful bubble around you, a bubble of safety. And now place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Feel your breath as you ground into your body. And as you ground into your body, visualize your younger self. Maybe a specific age comes in mind. Just trust it. See that little person standing in front of you. And look into their eyes. What do they need to hear? What does that little girl or boy need to hear from you right now? Now gently say these words out loud or in your mind. I see you. I hear you. You are safe now. Let that little person know you are worthy of love, success, happiness. And that you don't have to be perfect to be loved. Now imagine this beautiful, soft golden light surrounding your younger self. This light fills them with love, safety, and healing. And as you take some nice deep breaths in and out, you release any tension and pressure and limitations. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. How powerful is that? Healing childhood programs is not a one-time event. It's a journey of awareness and love and rewriting your inner beliefs. I want you to continue connecting with that inner child daily through affirmations, journaling, and meditation. Practice saying empowering beliefs like, I'm safe, I'm enough, I'm worthy of love and success and happiness. And if you want to go deeper, I'm here to take you deeper. Because this is important to heal. When we have these unconscious childhood programs, sometimes it's hard to discover that there are childhood wounds. And how can we change them? How can we face them? I know one of the hardest parts that my clients have is facing them sometimes because they've been so deeply hurt. And, you're not your past. You're this powerful being beyond measures. And it's important for you to keep healing, keep growing, and know that you're deeply loved. And if you're here with me right now, I'd like you to say hello and really look deep within you and see how childhood programs are affecting you right now. You might notice certain patterns that came up in your life or that they trigger you. And sometimes it feels like it's not fair. Hi, Jean. How are you? So good to see you. And, there's so many childhood programs. And I say, age 1 through 7, because that's such a delicate age and you're very, very innocent. I'm not saying the other ages aren't, but this is where you're connected to the divine. There's a lot of innocence and there's a lot, your crown is open at this time. It's very open. And, after that, you start to look for your identity. You start to figure out who you are. And that's important. But to help with that, sometimes we get lost because of all the childhood programs that happened. And so then we lose our identity and we go through this rough patch and we blame it on hormones. We blame it on our on anything and everything going on within us, on our mind or whatever we're dealing with. But what if these childhood programs are coming from the external factor, creating this foundation for us where we don't feel safe and secure? And that's a huge part. That's a huge part of our healing. I have helped so many people heal from childhood wounds. And when we do that inner child healing, the anxiety goes away, the depression goes away, the heart problems go away, the digestive issues go away. I had digestive issues for a very long time. It was all due to childhood programming, not feeling like I'm in control of the situations in my life. And it becomes very hard on the adult self because now we got to go backwards thinking that, okay, I left my childhood. Now we're going to be going backwards and revisiting. But that's okay because that's where healing starts. And you have to realize that if you want to heal yourself and your body, and you're on this journey of healing or a spiritual journey, it has to come from healing these wounds. And we have mother wounds, we have father wounds, we have childhood wounds. We hold these from many different lifetimes, not just this lifetime. So even though if you had a great childhood, what about other lifetimes where you may not have? And who can give you answers to that? Somebody like me who can go to that lifetime or those different lifetimes. Intuitively, I can tune into that. And so today, I really want to share with you, and I have shared with you, how childhood wounds can impact you. But if there's something that you would like healing for, I would love to help you. So just put it in the comments because we did a general healing, and I hope you enjoyed that, really just connecting with that inner child, that little person. And if you didn't get a chance to do the beautiful collective healing that we did, I highly recommend that you go back and watch the replay. Okay. But healing the inner child, I know a lot of people talk about it. I remember seeing it on TikTok and everybody was talking about how important the inner child is and healing that little person, because that really shapes our life. Day to day, I pay attention to certain actions and reactions that I have in my life. And I ask myself, is this coming from my childhood? Is it a childhood program? And once you start asking that question, because sometimes you're really taken back by some of the reactions that you might have. Sometimes if I'm in a social setting and something triggers me, and I've noticed it's from my childhood, and I'll react so angrily. And my husband used to never understand why I would be so angry. And then I had to tune in and say, wow, this is coming from this time. And when I started to work on that, I started to heal those parts of me that were angry and upset, where I didn't believe that whatever everybody else was saying was true. And so when you start doing this inner work, you're going to see that it makes a huge difference in your life and how you move forward and how you react in your life to things. My husband used to tell me, just let it go, Deepal, just let it go. And I'm like, but I can't. It's like I was holding on to something so strong, the strong force, and I didn't understand it. And that's the worst thing that you could do, is not understanding your triggers and reacting the same way again and again and again. every time you're put in the same situation. And what's interesting is that life, the universe, will keep throwing those same things at you until you start to look at it with a magnifying glass. And I've seen it play over and over again in my life, certain things, and I kind of got tired of it, to be honest. And so I highly recommend that you take care of that inner child, because that inner child needs you. It needs your love. It needs your support. It needs to know that you are there for that little person, because everything else extends out from that. Meaning that everything that you have done in your life after 12, 13 years old, well, after 7 and then 12, 13, I would say, is basically like this extension of just childhood programming, just streaming along in your life, just being dragged out. And if you want to change anything, whether it's a health issue, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your success, your career, no matter what it is, you have to start with that little person. I remember my parents had some money, but we acted like we were poor. And so no matter what, if I wanted something, I had to beg for it, and it wasn't readily available, which is fine. But the fact that we were never able to spend money, or my parents never just gave money to us saying, here, go spend it, go have some fun, whatever. We got like $5, maybe $10, but I was always afraid to ask for money. And I realized that came from a childhood programming, where we don't have enough, and where scarcity really played this role, in poverty. And I was taking on these programs from my parents because they lived that life. And even though we had money, we had to hold on to it. And Heather says, I realized that my inner child made me angry about Girl Scout cookie sales programs. Currently going on right now. Yes, I have released it. Source to resolve it. And that's interesting. That's an interesting trigger, the Girl Scout cookie sales. And I know that's a trigger for some people. I agree. So it's important to recognize your childhood wounds, whether it's about money, whether it's about relationships. Maybe, for me growing up, my parents' relationship wasn't the best. My dad was like this angry person all the time. And so for me as a child, I thought I had to be angry all the time for people to listen to me. And that's who I was. And now I realize that anger isn't the way. Control isn't the way. We have to find our way back to ourselves, that wholesome self, that loving self. And the only way to do that is to heal and clear these childhood programs. And so I highly, highly recommend that you look into that childhood. Look into your childhood, like write it down. Write down all the things that you can remember about your childhood, the good, the bad, the ugly, anything that you want. And then you're going to start to see, wow, this is playing out in my life today. And then you start to mark it off as you start working on it. Okay? So I want to encourage you to work on healing your inner child. And if you need any assistance, I'm here for you. I'm here to support you. We have this wonderful community. It's a spiritual community. And I want to share that with you because in that community, we meet twice a month via Zoom, and I do group healing as well as individual healings. And you also get opportunities to get one-on-one sessions with me as well as my healers. I'm just going to put this link right here if you'd like to join us. It is anandaforlife.com/membership. It is a beautiful healing community. It's called Quantum Body Awakening Healing Community. And we are really a quite large community having this beautiful space of healing together. And when you go to this link, you will see all the benefits of the healing community right there. Okay, so take advantage of that. Right now, we do have a special code that you can use to get 50% off for the first month. It is welcome 50. And so if you would like to use that, you can for the next 24 hours. If you are watching this live stream and you want to take advantage and be part of our beautiful community. And so definitely there's a lot of benefits beyond what I shared with you, but I shared with you the two most important ones. And I will hope that you will join us. And I want to thank you all for being here. I know today I wanted to just share because this information just came so strong to me about the inner child and healing that little person. And so I wanted to share that with you. In the next few weeks, we have a couple of things going on. I think next week is card readings. And then the week after, we have Deborah Poneman, I believe. But she will be on our show. And so it'll be exciting to talk to her. She's got the new Awake method, and I can't wait to share that with her. I mean, with all of you about her method. So come join us if you need anything. I'm Deepal Shah. Come and join me every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and I'll see you all really soon. Bye-bye, everybody.